All right, so this is my second installment of going over my Robinhood portfolio, and what you will notice is that I've taken a big loss today, and this whole basically, well, it was mostly today and yesterday that I took my main losses, and it is kind of uh not what I would like as much, but basically what I want to go over today is why I lost, and how good it was that I lost. So basically, you might be thinking, all right, $12, that's not a lot, but 7% loss in one day is actually a pretty significant loss when I'll have a bigger portfolio. And that's why I'm glad that I took this loss right now, because I learned a lot from it, as I'll go over in a bit. But I took it at a small cost too, which is a very good thing. So basically, if I go to my history, it was three main trades. So we have Urban Outfitters, which was not very a big deal. This was a little bit over $1. I'm not too sad about that. That's like around a 1% loss. This one was a bit more, around $3. Sale, and these last two were the big ones. So it was Sale and STMP, which I'm still in because I can't sell out, because a big mistake that I made was taking a trade while I didn't have any day trades left. So I couldn't sell out until tomorrow. So as you can see on this one, I took around 8.5% loss, which is very big, and it had reached at one point 11%, which is a very, very big loss. But it was kind of eye opening, because I'm gonna go over to Thinkorswim, which is my charting software, and I'll explain why I took such a big loss. So these last two trades were in my gap down strategy, and I lost a lot. So let's head over to my Thinkorswim platform, and we'll discuss why I made such a big loss and how I can prevent it in the future. And in fact, I profit a lot off of this mistake. So let's head over there. So let's go straight to Thinkorswim, and I'll go over the three trades. So first of all, if you guys know what the VWAP is, so basically I didn't use this VWAP indicator beforehand. So basically what the VWAP indicator does is it tells you what the average price is, this purple line over here, what basically this is the above average and this is below average. I believe this is the 75% and this is the 25% and this is 50% average. And basically when you're day trading with these volatile stocks, I realized that this average, this bottom, and this top really act as powerful resistances. When you're dealing with gap downs, as I am, so if I zoom out, this is a price gap down, very intense gap down. And usually what I look for in gap downs is a recovery on the market open. We did see an immediate recovery right here, but there wasn't anything powerful about this. So what I expected for this is, after the price settled down, after this volatility over here, I entered about right here. And let this be known, I didn't have a VWAP indicator on. And I entered right here expecting a slow recovery to occur for the rest of the day. But if I had my VWAP on, I would have seen that this center was acting as a resistance, and this was basically testing this resistance, and eventually the resistance failed, and then it pushed off. But now that I put on the VWAP to understand this, we can see the opportunity for profit. So if we move on to the day, we can see the powerful use of this bottom 25% line as a support of it constantly bouncing up, and the amount of opportunity for profit here. Now, let's go into STMP, which is the big 7.5% loss that I took today. So immediately we see a price fail, right? And then we see a little bit of up and down over here, but mostly consolidation between the lines. And I entered again around somewhere here, and this is where it was testing the so by this I didn't have the VWAP here, but I'm seeing this. If you zoom out and we look at this, I see this as a recovery. I see this as a thing to be recovering this whole distance, right? I'm thinking, okay, it's going to keep recovering. But if I had my VWAP on, I would have seen that it first had to break this. And we see that it literally just tested it, and it reversed back down. And I took this massive loss. And of course it recovered, and I was able to make back some of the loss. But the point is that I should have known where all the buyers are basically placed. This VWAP is telling me where all the buyers are in terms of price, and this really helped me. This is going to help me a lot in my future trades. And let's go over what happened during the urban trade. So if I go to this is the real-time trade. This is basically me swing trading through the RSI indicator, and basically I'm tracking down the statistics and the success of all the ones that were successful trades, and this is how much percent I made on them. But this is basically what I started to notice was that if you see the short interest, which is the amount of people shorting the stock at the current moment, I noticed that when that level was higher, there tended to be a larger win. 18% was all wins, 49% a big 5% win, but my losses were smaller at 0.98% and all this. And I was like, all right, let me try to actually put some money into this and look for a stock with a bit higher. So I look at Urban Outfitters, which recently hit let me pull up Urban. Urban. All right, let's go to the 20-day chart. So when we go to the 20-day chart, we see that right over here, we see it hitting the RSI. And I'm thinking, okay, this could be time for a reversal. We see a previous support over here, and this could be a time reversal. We see that it's coming up. So right on this day, I decided, okay, I'm going to enter right here, and hopefully we'll see some reversal. But of course, as soon as the stock opened, it continued to move down. It recovered a little bit, but never pushed over this, and it's still testing that, and it's probably just going to reverse. And I was thinking, why did this happen? And of course, if I had looked up the stock and I had seen that the short float was 13% right over here, which matched my criteria. But what I was ignoring was, yes, some of my wins had big short interest, but sometimes it didn't work. Look at this win, 1% only had a 4% loss. And look at this, it had a good 8% short interest. This one had a 17% short interest and it still lost. You have to look at the outliers, see the success rate. Okay, this does have a success rate, but I shouldn't expect it to win every time. That's why I wasn't too sad about the urban loss. And that's basically it. I'm happy with my progress today because it was an eye opener, and hopefully in my ongoing quest to find a pattern in these gap downs, this whole and let me move on to one more example. Etsy was a very, very volatile stock with a lot of opportunity for profit. So what we see here, if I zoom back, is as market opens, we see a very large spike, and then it drops, and then goes back up, and it drops. It goes back up, and it drops, and then to this big, big, big move up. And if we kind of break that down, we can see that this 25% line was acting as a very reliable support the entire time. We see that every single bounce was off this 25% line. And over here, right as this broke above, it was able to push even higher. And then when it broke down, it was able to push down. But then when it broke up here, tested it and went back. So this is this average is a very reliable, this bottom. Mostly when you're dealing with gap downs, you're going to be dealing with the middle and the bottom line. So I'm guessing if I'm dealing with gap ups, you're going to be dealing with the average and the 75% line. But even if you move on, you can see the reliability of this bottom line as a support and how much money you can make off of it. And you can see all throughout this, we see, obviously I wouldn't be able to make any profit here because I would have waited for it to move even lower. But we can see constantly the use of it as a resistance. And this is a very powerful tool that I'll be using in the future. And that's the market close. Apologies for that. That's about it for this video. Hopefully I'll be able to build up my account to what it was before. And that's about it.